Hello everyone, welcome to another interesting episode of Munches and Thoughts. Of course, my name is Pasanani, I am your chef, and I'm not alone. My dear friend, Namulo see. How are you, darling?
I am amazing.
I am amazing. It's always good to see you.
Always.
Let's make things formal before, because I know a lot is coming.
Yes.
Please introduce yourself, those who don't know you.
Yeah.
But I know today you've got some style.
I will find out. We were having a little foreplay. Don't rush me.
Foreplay!
Okay, so my name is Miss Jazmin. I'm an intimacy coach and a sexpert. And I've got a surprise for you. I mean, you're a chef and you're dressed accordingly, aren't you? So I figured it's only fair that I was a dress up.
Okay, I want to see a surprise. Maybe next time I'll bring a surprise. Okay. Let me do my hair.
I just figured I will also dress up according to the theme of my own profession.
Oh my gosh!
I know, right?
That's my theme of my profession.
Coaching and sex, coaching stuff.
Okay, darling.
You like it? Ooh, you've been losing to your hair. Love that.
I have to. When people they come, profession, I know I can be like, but I just want to say, Chomi, looking so stylish.
Thank you. I was feeling like I just felt.
Chomi, can we have a man next time dressing like this?
We can. Why not?
Thank you. Okay, she already introduced herself. Yes. Today we are doing something interesting.
Yes, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be educational.
Okay.
And so I hope they're gonna learn some stuff and just do practice at home.
But they already learn. You know the nice thing about Munches and Thoughts. They learn a lot. They are always having fun. They are always having something to say, definitely. Which is fun.
Definitely.
So it's all about dry sex and vaginal health.
Yes.
Which you will explain a lot.
Yes,
because that's your line of work. And I can't wait to learn a lot.
Definitely. But before we start, can we get a toast? Because I'm seeing all these bubbles.
Okay.
My mouth is getting all watery. Cheers.
You are so sexy.
I know.
If I was dating girls, let's have a seat.
I'm not converting you.
To be saying Dala to be converted. So, my darling, before we go far, can you just take us, before the chef can ask questions, take us, what is dry sex, vaginal health? What is what type of animal is that?
Yeah.
I'll sit mine.
Enjoy yours and I'll fill you in the meantime.
Of course.
So with dry sex, funny enough, it's actually very common, but a lot of women think they're the only ones that go through that. It can be caused by a variety of factors. Okay. It can be a reduction in estrogen, some hormones. It can be because of psychological effects, stress, some medication also, like your flu medication, your allergy medication.
They can cause dry sex.
They can, because remember when you're taking your flu medication, some of the medication is to dry you out from your mucus. So it dries up the whole body. Things like chemo can also cause dry sex.
So it's not something just...
No, it's not just one thing. It's not just one thing. It can be many factors. It can affect your vaginal fluid. Something as simple as playing in the pool. You know, pool has chlorine. Chlorine will actually dry you up in there.
We are not saying that you don't play there.
No. You can play your neighbor's pool. It's okay. But just for them to be aware that in case they actually do experience vaginal dryness, it can be because of the chlorine in the pool. Breastfeeding also, seawater because it's actually quite salty. And remember also back in the days how women used to keep their vagina healthy or even treat vaginal scars, or after they gave birth they will use salt water.
Thank you. I think you are going deeper, and I didn't say God. I just wanted you to.
But all things I do is about taking this. Yeah.
Please don't make me shy. I'm not a shy person. Remember, I'm still driving this car. But thank you so much for explaining. I believe that they are learning, and they will still gonna learn a lot, because me and you, we are like this.
We are like this.
Yes.
In my language, we are nail and finger.
Yeah, bro. So, my darling, tell me now. You already explained dry sex and like. Can you go deeper now? Remember what you did when I said, just give me, I think I must just put this thing away.
Yes, let's have a conversation.
So you already started with, what's the cause? So now, please go deeper. Then I will find you on the way. I will ask questions while we are, because you are an expert on this. I am an expert in the pod.
Oh yes, you are. Yes. Okay, let me get into my kitchen. So I always say, sex is mind, body, spirit, and your body's always communicating with you. Yeah. So for instance, think of right now, if I was to give you dry bread, and I say, eat this bread. What will happen is it's dry, and when it's dry, what do? You're gonna drink water, so you're gonna drink water, or you have coffee. So your body's always talking to you. Okay. So the very same way you will go and have water is because now this is just not working. You're not producing enough saliva to handle the dry food that you have. Yes. It's almost like your vagina. So what a vagina does when it's ready, when you are aroused enough, what it says is it prepares itself for either intercourse or whatever that you guys are gonna be doing. Yeah. You see, so it says, I'm wet, I'm waiting for that penis to go through so it can glide in nicely and increases pleasure and is comfortable. Before I even continue, I'm yet to meet a woman who says, oh my God, I love dry sex, bring it on.
Oh, there are people who love it.
Most women don't. Men will, some men do actually enjoy dry sex. It's not a lot of them, but it's not very healthy for women. Because when a woman is nicely lubricated, like I said, the vagina gets nicely lubricated, so that it accommodates the penis for intercourse. Yeah. So when the vagina is not nicely lubricated and your partner have sex with you, what happens? It's gonna cause friction. Yeah. You know, don't come alone. I always come bearing. I know. So that you can actually. Let me help you while you are busy. Yeah. So during intercourse and the woman is dry, there will be friction. And then when there's friction like that, the skin tears. So you end up with what we call vaginal scarring. Okay. And that also happens either on inside of the vaginal walls or the vaginal opening. Okay. And when you have a scar, what happens? You open room for bacterial infections and so forth. Then I brought this. Oh, what is this now? Toy. It's the. So this is the toy that I normally use to demonstrate. What does it look like? Looks like a beautiful flower, doesn't it? No, I don't know. It does. So this is the vagina, right? Okay. So I want you to put your finger in there. So your finger will be a penis. Just do your thing. Can you feel how it is? It's just... I don't like to put my finger in the vagina. Okay, here's the anus. Let me put it It's so nice. So after this, we're going to lay hands on you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a lubricant in here. Okay, you're talking about the dry sex. The dry sex, sometimes yes. It causes a lot of scars. Yes. So imagine putting penis and it's like that. So the whole time,
I don't think it's going to be comfortable.
It's not comfortable.
I think the receiver.
Both of them. Even for a man, what happens is you'll see on the men, by the head. Yeah. There's an area that's quite thin. You can literally even see the veins there. It's quite sensitive. They also get scarring when they have intercourse with a woman who is it's not dry. Nice.
But even men.
That's what I'm saying, men.
No, I'm saying even in the gays.
Yes.
It happens.
It happens because it's dry, so the skin actually tears there. Yeah. The nice thing about vagina, and when I'm saying, I'm just talking about the vagina more because the vagina is self-lubricating compared to anal. Anal, you definitely need a lubricant. 100%, because there's no lubrication coming out unless you're diarrhea. That's not that is bound to mess up with your play game. So yes, so I'm going to put a lubricant in here, and we are still on dry sex. We're still on dry sex. Yes, that's why it's important. Okay, what lubricant is this? This is a water-based lubricant. Water-based lubricant. Yes. Okay. So we will have a segment one day and talk about all the different lubricants that we can use. Okay. Now I want you to put your finger in there. In there. Yes. How does it feel like now? So it's so beautiful. It's much more nicer, isn't it? How does it feel like? No, you must go to the S as well. Okay. I'm gonna have to put some lubricant. Okay, lubricant, yeah. But when it comes to the backdoor play, which is the anal play, I always say rather to not go for a water base. Oh, okay. Okay, because a water base kind of dries out for a man. So rather to use an oil-based one because it can go on and on and on and on and on and on. Yes. So I'm gonna just use the same one for now, just for the demonstration purposes. Okay. Can you feel that? Isn't that it doesn't just glide and just nicely.
It's so
I know.
beautiful.
I'm looking at myself, man. Like seriously, it's much more comfortable. It's much more pleasurable, and it's good for the vaginal health and also for the penis because of the scarring that the people will experience. So I was saying that your body is always talking to you. So I was giving you that scenario of eating dry bread. So your mouth will try and give as much liquid as it can to accommodate and wet that bread. So when you're having an intimate moment with your partner, even if you're not stressed out, you can still be feeling like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm enjoying this whole intimate moment, but I'm still feeling dry. That's when now I say then rather than use either a lubricant, other women, they can actually go for hormonal treatment or therapy rather, which is estrogen. So it can be either a local one where they will use things like, it's not a suppository, because suppository is the one that you put in your bum. So this one you put in your vagina, that will actually help with lubricating that vagina. Because some women, even when they use a lubricant, they still feel like they're dry.
But
so
what's the
some
cause?
of them, the cause of what?
Oh, you did mention the cause of dryness.
Yes, that's why I said it can be many factors. But when you understand yourself and you understand your circumstances, then you can know which treatment you go for. Because I cannot say, use oil-based lubricant.
So you need to know yourself.
You need to know yourself.
But you always mentioning that you need to know your body.
Know your body.
Because the last time,
talking to you.
No.
Right?
Know yourself. How can you make someone come if you don't know how to
make yourself come?
Okay.
And sometimes not even have to be with a person. You can be with a toy. If you're going to be using a toy, also do have a lubricant. It's very helpful to have a lubricant so that you don't end up having to encounter...
Have a toy.
If you're going to be using a toy,
then
do use a lubricant.
Oh.
It's very important that you use a lubricant because unlike a penis, remember a penis also will be given some pre-cums and that will help with lubrication down there. A toy does not give that.
So you need
a lubricant so that you can really enjoy the full pleasure that you can receive from the toy.
Wow. Babulamba Makaya nizwile ke uchazile uJasmin ukuthi even if you are using a toy, please have a lubricant that will assist you to enjoy more. Because it's unlike a normal penis. A normal penis, there is a pre-cum.
Yes,
I know for a penis when I'm young, I will have that. It's like it's true. So tell me, my dear, the symptoms.
Yes.
Because I remember, not everybody understands the dry sex. Reason why I wanted us to talk about dry sex.
Okay.
So, like how the woman can see, like the symptoms that they can say, I'm going through this now. Before they can go in.
First one, it can be pain. Can either be painful.
Is it painful?
Painful, yes, it is painful.
Oh, wow.
It is painful. Remember, it's not gliding.
Yeah.
And the skin is not yet elastic to spread out. So then that's where you end up with vaginal scarrings. And when you are in pain, what do you do? You clinch.
Yeah.
So you tighten yourself.
So you're not.
So when you tighten yourself, the more painful it becomes because you're not nicely lubricated. So firstly, it will be painful intercourse. Pain can be either at the vaginal opening or it can also be on the vaginal walls or the cervix or everywhere. Okay? And if you're a woman and you have experienced something like this, right? After a very good sex and you felt like I was lubricated enough, I was good. And then when you're done, you go to the toilet and try to pee and it burns. It means there was a time where you were dry and then you caused some vaginal scarring in there. So there can be a part of that. And I know sometimes when women go through things like that, they end up with experiencing where their vaginal lubrication changes color, sometimes will have an odor. The first thing they think is STD. And it's not necessarily STD.
I think I will myself, if I was a girl,
you think that,
I would say, okay, STIs.
Yes, so there's also that. So people need to understand and acknowledge that this thing is common. Almost every woman has gone and experienced dry sex. Maybe in your 20s you didn't experience it, in your 30s you might have. By the time you are 50, now you're even more in menopause, and that's where you are really in the middle of dry sex because you're experiencing that. Because your estrogen has been lowered.
I thought when people say dry sex, it's because they will say dry sex, it's when they don't have sex. Now I'm learning.
That's a dry spell. That's a dry spell.
Okay, explain that.
When you're having a dry spell, that means you're not getting any. You're not getting laid, nothing. It's all dry season all the way. There's a dry spell. Now, dry sex, that's when you are having a moment with your partner, but your partner is just not getting lubricated naturally.
So will you advise the viewers to have lubricant?
I always advise. I always say,
because
there's two types of women,
yeah.
right? The one woman will have a Bible on the head post, right? And then the other woman will have a lubricant on the dressing table. I'd say, be the third woman, have a Bible and a lubricant by the dressing table,
I remember I'm gay, so have a
lubricant full time, okay? If you are not in a committed relationship and you're just still playing around, have a lubricant. I always say you only have one genital. It's not buy one get one free. It's not like you can replace it. No, you only get one.
One, and then
if
it's damaged, it's damaged,
and it's gonna cost you a lot of money. It's gonna cost you a lot of money, and the more you have dry sex, the more damage you're doing to the skin in that area. And you know when you've got a scar, what happens? That area, it dies off. That's why you can peel off that. It's the same thing happens to you. So you lose sensation down there. In the long run, you'll be like, I'm not feeling anything. I don't feel like this. You see,
it's
so
not because
always.
Perform. It's about
no sensation.
when because so feel lapaya. Okay.
You've done a lot of damage down there.
Down there.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Tell me here, my darling, I believe, there are other things when it comes to sex. Women, they are scared to talk about.
Of course they are.
Especially the lubricant part. Not everybody is strong to talk about that. Especially in a man and a woman.
Not even strong. You were never taught how to talk about it. Where do you even start to talk about it? You just know that you feel like this. But you don't know what it is. Yeah, others will be like, it's normal. I mean, I come across other women who say, I feel like my husband is raping me when I'm having sex with them. Other men don't even, because of the cultural tradition or where they're coming from, they don't even allow a woman to be wet. Because when you're wet, you are now classified as a slut. You're not supposed to. Because we come from a long way of history when it comes to women's pleasure and genital pleasure and so forth. I mean, that's where we even have things like genital mutilation, where a woman's clitoris were cut off, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So some men still believe that as a woman, you are not supposed to feel wet. When you feel wet,
something wrong with you.
You're not something wrong with you. You are there with the street women.
Wow. And this point, it's a very, very important point. And I always say, we should not run away from the truth.
No.
Because truth will set us free. What we're saying will,
yes.
But because you will ask yourself, but now as we grow, that's what I mean. Yes.
Can we talk about that?
Which I understand we're young. Yes, they will say that with woman's lona man. You see, it's wet.
Yes. And for the women that are very lubricated, because there are literally a minority. Most of the women, they will experience dry sex, but minority of them will experience more lubrication or excess of lubrication. And when a woman has excess of lubrication, is already also classified that she's been around the block, this one.
And
unfortunately, which is not the truth. You see, which is not the truth. And now it puts that woman under pressure. Even the woman who experiences painful intercourse because of dry sex,
they will just keep quiet
because you are in pain.
Because it's like, this person will say,
yes,
I'm flat, I've been there, I've been doing this and this, it's not true.
And because other women are not talking about it, you're thinking something is wrong with me. What am I doing wrong?
People are suffering.
Yes. One of the other things that will cause vaginal dryness, or rather people end up having dry sex, because they didn't spend more time doing foreplay.
Oh, I love that.
Is not
I want you to get on that because
nicely.
I love foreplay.
You love it. I always say foreplay is for us.
Mine as well. I love it.
And foreplay does not only start in the bedroom, but we'll talk about it another time.
Yeah, but you remember last time I said I hate spanking.
You don't like spanking?
But
I told you I like it.
No, you like it, but I don't like it. But
then don't do it.
Yeah, but foreplay, it's one of
it works for you. For you, it's like cooking.
Yes.
Cooking.
That's where all my arts go.
Yes,
You understand?
you
In the
see,
kitchen, at
and you get so creative.
when it comes to foreplay as well, if I'm in love with the person, definitely I go as far as climbing the stairs. Anyway, come back.
I saw you moving away from this.
I'm sorry.
Like,
So now, before I go to my second point or third or fourth, what advice you can give that woman that is watching today on this point at dry sex?
I'm going to talk to the men and the women.
Okay, I love it. You know, you are very.
I'm going to talk to the men and the women that vaginal dryness is common. It is not taboo. It's not something new. It is common and can be caused by many factors. So the sooner you accept that there's nothing wrong with you, and then this happens to a lot of women, then you can go and seek help. You can even go talk to your partner, because some men, they don't even want their partners to use a lubricant because they feel like, am I not doing a good enough job in seducing you? Am I not doing enough job to arouse you? May not even be your partner. He may have done everything in the book in terms of trying to turn you on. But you also want to get turned on, but your body's just not coming to the party in terms of being wet,
but
being lubricated. So those are the people that I'll talk to and say, man, please do understand that if your woman says, I need a lubricant, please invest on a lubricant. And you as a woman, that is your body. You're the one who feels more pain than your partner. You now have to when you're like, after the whole sex and he's calm and everybody's happy, hopefully you also did come, which I think it will take you a long time to get there because you are in more pain than pleasure. But when it's all said and done, you are left with the pain. You are left with the scars. Now you have to go to a gynecologist and be taking antibiotics and so forth. And you need time to recover. I mean, the worst case scenario is when a woman will tear the perineum. Perineum is that little thin skin between the vaginal opening and the anus. So if your partner does not allow you to use a lubricant, or if you just go ahead with that dry sex, it can literally tear. Meaning from your vagina to the anus, it has happened to other women where they get such tearing. I mean, most women have experienced that kind of tearing, but only acutely, meaning just a little bit. That is why when they go to the toilet and pee, they'll feel like it's a burn. Because that's like putting salt into a scar, into a cut. So it's very, very important. And go and find out which lubricant can work for you. Sometimes you don't even need a lubricant. You just need more foreplay. You just need to take a shower together or a bathtub together, or you just need a massage. But we're also very busy, so there's no time every day or to do that 2-3 times a week. So if you're not even in the mood and you're like, you know what, I really just want to serve my partner today, and I know it's going to take me a while to get there, let's rather use a lubricant. And I can guarantee you, when you are nicely lubricant, that's a big chance that you'll actually reach an orgasm. You will reach an orgasm.
Allow your partner to have a lubricant because it's very important. Have foreplay because it works and it helps people like me and you, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
please.
Let's sit.
You've
been talking, darling.
To
dry sex.
No. I will not drink to that. I refuse. Your genital deserves better than dry sex, yo. But I get you.
Anyway, yeah. So tell me, abanye abantu amadoda namantombazane
yes,
khona abaye enjoy dry sex in a scale of 100.
Women predominantly don't.
But they stand.
There will be those, and it also depends on the extent of dryness.
Okay.
Because that's why some women will go to the beach and just squat on the water, because it's salt water, right? And it's healthy salt water.
Yeah.
So it kind of just dry. You know, that's why even salt is used as a preservative, or even good at treating some of the scars or getting rid of some of the bacteria and things like that. So they will squat there, just to give the vagina a little bit of therapy and whatnot. So when they go and have intercourse with their partner, because of the salt that has absorbed that extra moisture in the vagina, they feel tight. So
wait, I want to ask this now.
Tightness, and then the person's like, you're a little tight today, and you can actually even feel him to be stronger, to be bigger, and vice versa. He'll be like, you're rather tight today, baby, and you're like, yeah, you're rather big today.
So they...
Yes.
Okay. So some, they will just doing it to please their partners.
And not just to please them, and even for them, they also would enjoy it. But yes, but they know, if your partner was saying your name forward and backward after you've gone to the beach and you come back, and then you took and you gave you his PIN code for his phone. Who did you want to go back to that well again and be like, okay, this is a fountain that I want to play around with?
So I believe that men, they do enjoy dry sex.
Some men do.
Okay.
Some men do, some men don't, because like I said, it causes also pain because it stretches the skin also. So some men do because it feels tighter.
Okay.
Yeah, because the vagina will feel a bit tighter.
So if I'm wearing a condom.
Yes.
And dry sex. Does the dry sex or the whatever person I'm having sex with affect the condom?
It will turns out it might tear.
So that's why we have a lot of high pregnancies.
That's why it might tear because there's no yeast.
HIV and
it's dry, so it might tear. Unless it's those ones that have a nice lubrication. Some condoms you actually find them with nice one. A lot of
but I think when you are busy pumping,
but if you
become
pumping
dry,
yes. It will. It will tear.
Okay, now I think we're done with the dry sex. Let's go to the vaginal health now.
Yeah, but before we even do the vaginal health, can we talk about dry humping?
Oh yes.
Right. So dry humping is predominantly for people that are not ready to have sex with a person. If you're a virgin, that's like one of the best way to have sex without actually preserving yourself for marriage.
Yeah.
So it's one of the most creative ways to have sex without intercourse. Sex is not just intercourse, there's other ways of having sex. So dry humping is you have your clothes on, I have my clothes on.
Okay.
And we just rub on each other.
You know why I'm laughing? Because I've got this other friend of mine. He's
you and your friend.
He's 36 there. So sometimes I'm still a virgin.
He's still a virgin.
Okay, but last time we had a girlfriend. I don't know. We had a French kiss and we were first time. So we are just doing this. Anyway.
And did he tell you how the experience was? Come on, do share.
No, I was not interested because Mina is not working for me.
Anyway, so it is one of those creative ways that people will do to still kind of have sexual stimulation, and they will come. Literally, you actually do come. If it's a man, he'll come in his own pants. And so forth, but one has to really be careful. Like if you're wearing jeans and you're not even wearing an underwear, that it might, cause a little bit of damage. But because it's more pleasurable than pain, you'll see the pain later on. And then for the women also, they just have to be very careful that they also don't rub too much because especially the clitoral area, it's very sensitive. So you may find that after you've had all that fun, you're too sensitive for even a touch because you rubbed it. With something that was a little too harsh for it. Mm-hmm. So that is dry humping. Another way of dry humping is self-play. Others are not okay with masturbating. So what other women they'll do, they'll just on their bed, they'll put their pillow between their legs and they'll just dry hump the pillow. Don't laugh, it's delicious. I know some people are not comfortable touching themselves when they're making love to themselves and exploring their bodies, but there's another way you can actually dry hump a pillow, it will come.
And then you are happy after because
and then you are
just
happy.
gonna come and then after that you sleep
you find
nicely.
Ways and so there's another way of having what we call dry sex. That is more
but it's safer
and pleasurable.
Because you especially when you are doing. But I think when you are doing the pillow. It can
remember it's dry, so one has to be very careful of how they play. I mean, if you're gonna be wearing jeans and I'm wearing leggings, you're humping on his leg, on his knee. You know, he's rubbing on
I remember when I
his
started, yes, when I was a child.
Go on.
When I was a child, I think that's when I was being called in staging, and then by the time
yes. Yes. And tell me more.
And it's a so beautiful.
And you couldn't stop yourself, could you? I knew it.
I like
And that's how sex is supposed to be like. That's how intimacy is supposed to be like. I always say, if it feels good, then why do you stop it? If your partner's touching your certain when it feels good, then why do you stop it?
And
Don't
I remember
stop it. If you're touching yourself,
one of my
and it
uncles
feels good,
sold
don't
me,
stop.
One of my uncles sold me, and then he blackmailed me.
He saw you.
He saw me.
And
I'm blackmailed. I was on clever job.
And did he? Or to this day, you still a family, so you still a secret between the two of you guys.
He's in heaven now.
Oh, he took you to the grave with him.
But he didn't. I think he sold. I don't know. It's just that.
No, he said that because he didn't want to have that conversation with you.
I think so. I think so.
I don't think he was ready to have that kind of a conversation with you because when he tells on you now, we're gonna have call a meeting and tell you about the bits and the bees of this thing, and most people don't even know where to start.
And now, when we talk about the dry sex, I remember Guti, the front part of my penis, it was not comfortable after.
Yeah, after that.
Yes.
It was sensitive. It was too tender.
Because when I go to the bathroom to pee, it was burning.
It was burned. Sometimes there'll be a little bit of cut and blood there. That is what dry sex will do.
Wow. Anyway.
Yeah.
Now.
But at the time, you were having so much fun. Only the aftermath.
No, I had so much fun.
And then
remember,
you can use
I was
the
still
creams and
So let's go here now. Tell me the vaginal health, and I think we can in the penis as well.
Yeah.
After what I just told you.
Yes.
Let's both vagina and penis.
Yes. What do you mean, like contact?
The health. Talk about the health.
Yes. Remember
when I said
one of the
vaginal
things
health?
I touched on, I said, when a woman is nicely lubricated, is comfortable, and is pleasurable, pleasure is enhanced much more. Okay, and it's good for your vaginal health. The vaginal health part of it is because, one, when you're having dry sex, what happens? You're going to experience vaginal scarring. Those scarrings, those scars, you've opened room for bacterial infections, for yeast infections. Your discharge is also going to change now. You're going to have those smells sometimes because of dry sex. And I mean, the moment you feel like your discharge is not smelling so like the first thing you think is like STD. And sometimes it's not necessarily STD, maybe because you experience some scarring there, right? And now with the penis, same thing. Those scars on the head of the penis, you've opened room for bacterial infections. So you see, and if it's not treated nicely, it will then have passes, and you have to go get medical help and so forth and so forth. Or sometimes even if it's not showing, and you do find that you actually do have an infection that is growing there, and you don't pay too much attention to it. The moment you're going to have intercourse with your partner, it's going to be problematic because vaginal intercourse, now you're taking all those bacterial infections, you're putting them into a woman's vagina, unless you're wearing a condom, of course. Two, if you're going to be doing anal play or backdoor play, other people, they use a condom, other people, they don't use a condom. We normally advise that people use a condom. Now, when you have such scars and you go and penetrate without a condom, what's going to happen? Now you're going to actually infect it even more and cause even more damage or cause even more problems down there. On yourself, not on your other
not on the other partner.
And the same thing with the anal play. Remember when I said the anal does not self-lubricate? When you're having dry sex, what happens? It also scars. It's scarring. So think of that day when you were very constipated.
Okay, tell me.
So it's going to be a problem. Now it's not going out, it's going in. And
I didn't say that.
And not now imagine that going in and out. So it's a problem. It's a then.
The saliva.
The saliva, yes, the saliva.
Because it's a tender planet. See a cord.
So saliva, yes, saliva, no. Desperate times cause some desperate measures. if you don't have anything else around you, then I'll say then use a saliva than experience pain and scarring.
Okay, so
I'll say it's acceptable
to be safe.
If there's
I let any bacteria whatsoever.
It will, but I'm just saying, if you can get away from that's what I'm saying, desperate times call for desperate measures. There really have to be nothing else that you can use there. And I'm not saying nothing else, I'm not talking about Vaseline is there you can use it, no, use a proper stuff. But then with the saliva, remember now saliva's got microflora, right? We've got our own bacteria. And a person has been eating whatever they're eating, then maybe ujile, the hot wings. Right? And then got chilies in their mouth and then they use their saliva on you. And then now you got that burning sensation.
So you are burning instead of having fat?
Yes, and it's hot, right? And another thing with the saliva, eating sweet stuff. Remember for women, you must not put anything that has sweet stuff in there.
Okay.
Because you're going to end up with yeast infection.
Okay.
So if your partner now was eating something sweet, and then after that you go and have a little fun, they use their spit. Their spit still have some sugar in it. And then now you playing around in that area with the saliva with sugar in it, then you're having penetration. I can tell you right now, I give you 3 days, you'll be seeing a different shoe. You see? So don't do what you see in the movies where people also run to the kitchen and they get whipped cream and then they put it down there. No. If that's the case and you're doing that on the man, go make him take a shower quickly to wash off the sugar before he can actually do penetration on you.
You know what, Nick?
So
we
yeah.
can't finish this because we are coming back again. But we're going to share because me, Chef Pasarani Mbata,
and it's Jazmin, the sex coach.
We are coming back with more episodes. My dear.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
I enjoyed this and I know we learned a thing or two.
Of course.
And after this, there's no more excuses for dry sex.
No.
No more. You cannot know me, you cannot know Chef and still continue having dry sex. I rebuke that, I speak against it.
Last time I said to dry sex. Today I said no to dry sex. Me and Jazmin, we are having our new show. So every month we will do, when I'm shooting Manches and Thoughts, of course me and Jazmin are going to have our slot. So from next month,
yes,
Jazmin and Chef Pasarani.
Cheers to the news show.
Thank you so much and goodbye.